Lucky Guy Sports.
Full episode for November 1st, 2025.
And smash that subscribe button.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the podcast. It's your host, Brent Bilski, a.k.a. Double BR, the 110 Soldier. Today, got some things to talk about. Warriors could be contenders in the NBA scandal that was much ado about nothing, and I knew it wasn't going to be the trade that could rock the NBA. But I got to start off. An alien and a samurai have taken over my damn show. Unbelievable. I got to start off the gate. Victor Wembanyama, Shohei Ohtani, two generational guys in 1 week have shaken both of their sports and are just going to take over my show for a while. So let's get into the first one, and I got to start it. I'm wearing the shirt. I saw it last week in person, the show. Shohei freaking Ohtani is that effing dude, and y'all don't get it. I'm still trying to explain to people, and they don't get it. So last night, Blue Jays did tie the series 2-2 after Shohei, who was fresh off an IV fluid for leg cramping because he basically carried the Dodgers through that Game 3 marathon, 6.5 hours, reaching base a record 9 times with 2 doubles, 2 home runs, and 5 walks, comes in, 15 hours later and was only able to, strike out 6. He KO'd the side in the 4th, only allowed 2 runs, but it wasn't 6 scoreless innings and 10 strikeouts and 3 home runs like it was when I was there the week before. So, oh man, he sucks.
You suck! You suck!
Shohei's worthless. He's overpaid. You don't get what is going on. And look, the story of even how he was able to get here, being a pitcher and a hitter and top 5 at both at the same time, is an interesting story for another day. A lot of circumstances from high school to Japan to the Dodgers of how it was even allowed to let him attempt to do something that we've never seen before. But I'm hearing too many people just be kind of flippant. And I get the media likes to overhype things, but Shohei is not overhyped.
I don't see what the big deal is.
People saying, yeah, he hits and he pitches. I mean, that's cool. You don't understand what is happening. For baseball, there has been 122 years of keeping records. An estimated 20 to 21,000 players have come and gone over the years in MLB. He is the only one doing the stuff that he is doing. We are seeing him do things that haven't happened since the literal dawn of the modern world, being a top 5 pitcher and a top 5 hitter. He is breaking records that go back to 1903. 1903. Do you want to know what happened in 1903? I'm glad you asked, because it was a banner year. What was the world like back then? Well, people were lining up at the St. Louis World's Fair because they wanted to see a light bulb, because 90% of the world did not have electricity yet. The Wright brothers were pretty proud of themselves. They had just invented the airplane. They had tested their first flight. Ford was pretty in a good mood. He had just sold his first car. Coca-Cola still had cocaine in it.
Have you ever tried sugar or PCP?
And they just had to take out cocaine that year. Antibiotics, you couldn't have them yet because they were 20 years away from existence. Pablo Picasso was, though, 21 years old. He had just started his blue period. Martin Luther King Jr. was still 26 years away from being born.
Martin Luther goddamn King Jr.
Records in Major League Baseball go back that far. 122 years, 20,000 players. Shohei frickin' Ohtani is doing things we've never seen. He's a one-man show. I don't know what to tell you. Regular season records. Let's just get through some of them. The 50-50 season, his first one. He became the first Major League player to hit 50 home runs and steal 50 bases in a year. Only one to ever do it. Then this year, he decides, I don't want to do just one side. I'm going to pitch and join the 50-50 club. He's the only guy ever, and will be for a very long time, to have 50 home runs and 50 strikeouts in a same season. A lot of people like to bring up Babe Ruth. Just fun fact, Babe Ruth, the only year he hit 50 home runs and pitched, the most strikeouts he had was 2. 50-50, the so-called greatest, 50 and 2. Multiple unanimous MVPs. Nobody's ever done that before. And is probably going to do it this year, even though it's not official yet, where he had unanimous vote Ask Ichiro and Jeter how hard it is to get unanimous vote for anything good in baseball. He's the only one to ever do it. I'm not done. He was the MVP in both leagues. Now, Frank Robinson also got that done in both National and American League, but he's only the second one to do that. So let's go back to things he's only done. Multiple 50-homer, 20-steal seasons. No one else has ever done that in 122 years of baseball.
We're not even in the playoffs yet.
Now let's get to the postseason, where he really likes to shine. Again, 9 times on base in a postseason game, Game 3 of the World Series. 4 hits, 5 walks. No one had ever reached base more than 6 times. He did it 9 in a playoff game. It happened one time, most recently in the regular season, by everyone, of course, remembers Stan Heck. In 1942 was the last time anyone reached 9 times in the same game. 3 multi-homer games in one postseason is the first time ever. By the way, Ruth also had 4 multi-homer postseason games in his whole damn career. Shohei's gotten it done in one postseason. He's still got games to go. First player to start on the mound and hit multiple homers in the same postseason, of course, goes to Show. First player ever intentionally walked twice in a postseason game with the bases empty. They walked him over and over with the bases empty because he is that scary just on the side where he bats, but he's also a great pitcher and is the first pitcher to hit 3 home runs in a game while striking out at least 10 batters in the same game, either regular season or playoffs, and this sumbitch did it to send them to the World Series. This man is stacking first in a sport that has been tracking stats since the Roosevelt administration. He is a top 5 pitcher and hitter at the same time. You have never seen this. I don't know if we'll ever see it again. And baseball is something I'm trying to just reiterate. 1903, this has been around forever and is one of the few sports where it really stayed the same. Football, golf, they all evolved. Clubs, rules, things would change. Baseball's been the same forever. Every player you name, you could think of, Ruth, Mays, Bonds, I'll throw in like a Trout. They all played by the same measurements, and nobody has ever done what Shohei is doing right now. He is dominating the entire timeline of a 120-year-old sport. There really is no fair comparison. I don't know what else to compare him to. And if this sumbitch wins back-to-back MVPs and a World Series MVP to go along with it, What do you want me to say? I mean, this is impossible. We throw the word unprecedented around a lot, and it's way too casually. But when you have a dude who in the same year is hitting like Aaron Judge and pitches like prime Pedro, baseball has existed through 2 world wars, a Great Depression, segregation, integration, expansion, steroids, analytics, and through all of that, no one has ever done what Shohei is doing. So when I hear people just go like, oh, yeah, he pitches and hits, that's pretty good.
You're just an asshole.
Oh, Mozart playing a little piano. That's cute. Mozart gonna play a little piano. Oh, Shakespeare, you gonna write a little note? You gonna write a little something on a pad there? Oh, Einstein. Oh, look at the dork doing math. Oh, Da Vinci gonna doodle. Da Vinci doodle. Do a little doodle. It is crazy what this guy is doing, and that's the level of sarcasm that needs to be put into it. Like, guys, like this is that level. Mozart, Shakespeare, Einstein. You'll never see this shit again. It is also crazy to consider he's a bargain for $750 million. He is worth every damn penny. I was there. I spent too much money because I wanted to see Shohei pitch. That last week, that Game 4, I was 15 rows behind home plate. Usually not a record the game guy, but he's about to go yard, and I gotta get it.
Called it. I called that.
He saw the future.
I saw the 3 home run, 10K, send him to the World Series, arguably greatest baseball game ever played. And when I tell you the buzz he creates, I was talking to people left and right of me like we're all here just to see Shohei. The closest lately, I would say Caitlin Clark in Iowa. Messi, I hear, has a lot of the same buzz in soccer. Tiger in the early 2000s, there's that old picture of him like leading the Pied Piper as he's coming up the 18th hole, wearing his Sunday red. Usain Bolt in track would, I think, in the Olympics, the hype and the anticipation before he would sprint. And MJ in 96 of like when they were doing the announcements and you heard this and you watch the other team go like, oh, shit. That aura, that feel, He's the closest I've seen to that. Shohei Ohtani is a $700 million bargain because you never know what you're going to see. Just like I expected to see some cool stuff, but I didn't expect to see the greatest game ever played. And the crazy part is that's only one of his 3 of greatest games ever in MLB history. He doesn't just have greatest games, he has 3 of them. He does it when the lights are the brightest, which is probably my favorite thing about Sho. When you consider last year when he joined the 50-50 club, September 19th, 2024 versus Miami, he didn't just join the 50-50 club. He went 6 for 6 that day. He hit 3 home runs. He stole 2 bases. He drove in 10 to become the founding member of the 50-50 club, 50 home runs, 50 stolen bases, the only one to do it since 1903. Fast forward to the game I was at, October 17, 2025, versus the Brewers. 6 innings pitched, 2 hits, 0 runs, 10 strikeouts, and O goes to the plate and hits 3 for 3, 3 home runs. That second one, I don't think is still landed yet. We watched that thing. That thing was a freaking rocket ship. He didn't just send the Dodgers to the World Series. He redefined what a complete player in baseball looks like. I was there, like I said, with everyone. We were losing. I mean, we were going apeshit, just losing our mind. It was the coolest, most rewarding thing I've ever spent money on a ticket was watching Shohei do that. But just in case that wasn't enough, just the other day, World Series Toronto reaches base 9 times. 9 times he successfully reached base in one game. 2 doubles, 2 home runs, 4 intentional walks, 3 of those with the bases empty, and another walk was just for good measure. But just to give you, at least to help you understand, Blue Jays manager John Schneider started walking him on purpose to get to 2 first-ballot Hall of Famers in Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman. Freddie Freeman is now the only guy to have 2 walk-off home runs in a World Series. 2 of the greatest clutch hitters and first-ballot Hall of Famers, they didn't even think about it. They didn't even consider doing anything else. They just said, dude, walk his ass.
Why don't you just give up?
This guy can't stop hitting the ball. This is out of control. They decided, and nobody questioned it, by the way. Blue Jays fans, announcers are like, hey, right, yeah, you better walk Shohei. This dude can't miss. They walked Shohei with the bases empty intentionally in the World Series. They did it 3 times in a row, and everyone said, yeah, that's the rational decision. Just give up. Just surrender. Just let a guy who gets 50 stolen bases on base with 2 Hall of Fame hitters behind him, that is your best chance at pulling this nonsense off. And throw all of that in with the fact that he's already made them their money back. People just look at that contract and go, Jesus Christ, $700 million. That's a lot of money, even over 10 years. He already made it back. The Dodgers have already made back their $700 million between ticket sales, merchandise, broadcast deals overseas, and sponsorships overseas. They have already made back all of the money. Everything now is in the black. That is just,
Doesn't matter. It's all profit.
Oh, y'all aren't hearing me. And then you go to the ratings, and baseball, who had struggled for ratings a few years ago, now between U.S., Japan, and Canada combined for over 30 million viewers the first 2 games. To give you an idea, other than the Super Bowl, there's really no other professional sport that has touched 30 other than Jordan back in the 90s. That's the last time I've seen 30 million on average watch anything of the major 4 sports in the finals, not named the Super Bowl. Oh, it's kind of cool. He can pitch and hit.
That's pretty cool, I guess.
So this dude is just doing things you'll never see, maybe ever again. $700 million may sound like a lot, but he's not just a player. This dude's a one-man economy. He's the face of 2 continents. He's the reason most of us are tuning in when we said we'd stop watching baseball. He has already given the Dodgers their money back. He's broken records older than flight and has turned every game basically into a cultural event. You get to pay to witness it. I was there for it. It is unbelievable. The only question left is already where he ranks in the current generational immortals. That's where we're at. And if this dude wins the World Series and gets a World Series MVP to go with it, it'll make for an even more interesting conversation. But I thought about this, and I called this segment Best in Show. I gave us 5 of the most recent generational gods, the Mount Rushmores, and give them their best 3 years in the last 50 years. And let's compare it to Shohei's run and kind of see where it all stacks up. I ended up settling on Simone Biles, Usain Bolt, Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, and, of course, the Show. It isn't a question of if he belongs, it's where. So let's start climbing the mountain. At number 5, I did put Simone Biles. 2016, 2024, Simone in Rio won 4 golds, was the first U.S. woman ever to win 4 golds in a single Olympics. She won the all-around by 2.1 points, which was historical, biggest margin of all time. And 8 years later, she did it again, something we hadn't seen. So I'm counting those 2 Olympic years and throwing them together. The only problem is she's the first American to do a lot of those. Someone had already done it. Some Soviet chick, Larisa Latinina, whoever she was back in 1956. So I got to put her at 5. Other people have done it. MJ, I'm actually putting at 4 in this argument. I'm using the years 1991 to 1993, where MJ, of course, had his 3 championships, 3 finals MVPs, 2 regular season MVPs, and let's be honest, the third one being robbed from him was horseshit. He was the first player in NBA history to three-peat both titles and finals MVPs, so he is the only one to do that. He averaged 41 points per game in the 93 finals, which is still a record and insanity. He won MVP, finals MVP, scoring title in the same season twice. And if people want to argue 96, 98 should have been my category, fine. He did become the only player in league history in those times to win the MVP award, finals MVP, and scoring title, while also being on the all-defensive first team. So that is more of a two-way comparison to put fairly with Shohei if you want to rank Mike above Show here. But the reason I don't have him higher is, again, other people did it, just not technically, because Bill Russell would have easily three-peated and had 3 finals MVPs in a row if they actually had the award. The award did not exist yet. That's the only reason Russell does not have a bajillion finals MVPs. At number 3, where do I put Show? I got Usain Bolt at 3. 2008 to 2016, I'm just combining the 3 Olympic years, but dude, they really were. This is getting into the category of, like, I don't know if we'll see this again, but it's at least possible. Usain ran 9.69 second 100-meter dash, and he was celebrating before he was done. He probably could have ran faster. I think ran a 9.58 at another time. But in those Olympics, he won the 100, 200, and 4x100 relay, all in world record time. He repeated the same damn thing 4 years in 2012 and did it again in 2016. Won the 100, 200, 4x100 relay. That is 3 straight Olympics of sprint perfection. But the reason I got him at 3 is because somebody's going to break this eventually. It's just the law of track and field. Nothing lasts 100 years in the record books in track and field. There'll be gradual improvements of athletic performance, and at some point, as crazy as it sounds, somebody will outrun Usain Bolt. Number 1.
Yep, still number 1.
I'm going to go to 1 because this is where I'm still going to put, for now, Tiger Woods, 1999 to 2001, is arguably the greatest thing we've seen in a 3-year period in any pro sport. For now, he stays there because, I'm telling you, man, from 99 to 01, for you kids that weren't just there or too young to understand it, go look back. He did not just dominate golf. He wrecked it like it was his favorite Escalade.
Why you bringing up old shit?
This dude won all 4 major championships at the same time. Masters, U.S. Open, Open Championship, and the PGA all in a row. They called it the Tiger Slam. I don't know if we'll ever see that ever again in the history of ever. Golf is a whole different thing of difficulty and consistency. It is hard to do. He won that 2000 U.S. Open that year by 15 damn strokes. This is not him playing his buddies. He beat all the other pros by 15 strokes. That was the biggest margin in all-time major history. He was also the youngest ever to complete the Grand Slam. So for 3 years, Tiger didn't just play golf. He ran through it like it was one of his 15 side chicks.
I feel like the Tiger Woods of sex.
I still have him at number 1. However, for now, I will have Shohei at 2. But this dude, if he wins World Series back-to-back, which is also kind of rare, an MVP unanimously, and also the World Series MVP to go along with it, it could change things. I mean, this is truly a run for the ages right now. I mean, like I said, 2024, 54 home runs, 59 stolen bases, the first 50-50 season, to follow it by pitching with 55 home runs and 50 strikeouts as a pitcher. It's a different kind of 50-50 we'll never see again. The closest one more time was the great Babe Ruth. He had 50 home runs. He had 2 strikeouts. Shohei had 50 plus. He would have more, by the way. He just got his arm hurt. That's in 122 years of playing, over 20,000 players. He hits like Babe. He pitches like Pedro. And if the Dodgers win another World Series and he takes home World Series MVP, it might be the fact that we are seeing creating the most impossible, rarest run you will see in sports, at least in your lifetime, unless we're like Ricky Bobby, and thanks to modern medicine and stuff, we'll get to live to be 150, 200 years old.
I mean, it's not crazy to think I can't live to be 245, maybe 300.
I don't know. Other than that, that's what you're witnessing right now. Biles bent gravity, Jordan owned the air, Bolt erased time, Tiger broke golf, but Ohtani, this is not glazing. Like, I want to, some people are like, oh my God, you're just glazing. Dude, glaze this. Seriously, Mozart. Oh, you playing a little piano? Oh, I should look Shakespeare. Oh, you writing another story, dork? I don't understand. This is Einstein doing math. This is Da Vinci coming up with one of his bajillion arts or inventions or whatever the hell Da Vinci did. Shohei is that level. You guys really need to watch it. You got a couple more games left to do it. Let's see if he's able to complete the whole thing. But God dang it, that was... And being there for it, there's no one creating or doing what he's doing, the buzz, the money, the whole damn show. He's the whole damn show. That's why I'm wearing the shirt today. Shout out to Ohtani. All right. Moving on. And like I said, it is crazy to see two generational game breakers in the same week. And I'm going to talk about why the Spurs need to make a freak trade, wink, wink, right now. But the alien has landed. This is the Victor Wembanyama the world was promised. The arrival is here. Everyone kept saying, give him a couple years, wait till year 3. Let's see what happens. We have seen what happens. Holy shit. This 7-foot-something myth alien from another damn planet somewhere past Uranus, and he is way bigger than 7'4". He doesn't like to talk about his height. He is somewhere around 7'6", 7'7". He has come back from that blood clot and a whole new attitude, a whole new body, and a whole new skill set. I don't know what the league's going to do. This isn't just future potential anymore. This is pure domination. Victor Wembanyama, it's only 4 games, but is currently averaging 31 points, 13.8 rebounds, 4.8 blocks per game. You heard me right. He is already averaging 31 and 5 blocks. Wilt Chamberlain, by the way, on average was somewhere from 4.4 to 5.3 blocks per game. He just had 9 the other day. 5 blocks and 31 points in today's league is not supposed to be possible, and he's doing it more efficiently, which is even more scary. He's not just doing things on the defensive end, but now on offense, he is much more efficient in the way that he does things. He doesn't chuck threes as much as he used to do. They have already been transformed. The Spurs organization is now 4-0 to the surprise of almost everybody. And also credit to, Castle, Vassell, Harper, who might be the second rookie of the year to follow Castle. They are all doing their thing, but they are suddenly third in the entire league in defensive rating after they finished at like the bottom just a year ago. That's all Wemby. That's all Victor Wembanyama. That is nobody else. Watch a game where Victor is in the middle. Dude, nobody even thinks about shooting a layup. It's only 4 games in, and people have already figured out, yeah, I ain't getting that shot up, dog. There's no way. This dude is like 7'6" and athletic with quick reflexes. He is going to swat this crap somewhere in the 5th row. They don't even look. It is just changing the way an offense has to operate because nobody even has really like any belief that they're going to be able to get the ball over Victor. He is erasing attempts. He is stopping layups and has made them, again, 3rd in defensive rating. And in the first 3 games, by the way, he did Shohei-like history, 100 points, 15 blocks. That sentence never existed before I said it. He is the first player ever to hit those through 3 games. The Spurs' new franchise record of 40 on an opening night was also a franchise record, but not the record that he set for the entire NBA. He was the 6th in NBA history to get that done. But you watch it, he's embracing his size. The early knocks on Victor was this kid's a great defender, but he's young. He's very raw offensively. Yeah, all that's gone. That's goodbye. All of that is gone. His field goal percentage is from 46% now up to 60% from the field. He is still shooting threes at a 36% clip. His true shooting percentage is 68.4%. That is Kevin Durant-like shooting efficiency with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's length. Oh, I'm sorry, taller with longer arms than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and more athletic, and he's finally embraced and learned how to weaponize his height. He has gone down last year somewhere around 9 3-point attempts, was shooting way too many threes, down to 2.8. He only takes them when he's open, and he hits them at a higher percentage. And everyone's talked about the physical transformation, but it really is alien. It is truly alien how big and strong Victor has gotten in one damn summer.
That's a huge bitch.
That is a big old boy there. Victor Wembanyama has suddenly turned into a pretty muscular, lean kid from being that kind of scrawny. We didn't know if he was going to be able to get pushed out by guards. He is heavier. He's hungrier. And I'll go back to, again, he said in a recent interview, having the blood clot and having maybe the world being taken away from me that I love helped me appreciate things more. And a lot of y'all know he went on this just insane traveling pants goofy summaries with monks, and he's going and talking to Garnett, and then he's suddenly working out with, I believe, Akeem, and he's lifting weights, and he's doing all sorts of crazy things. He's shaving his head. He comes back a completely different dude. This is the version of Victor most of us were waiting for. It's here now. If anyone was waiting, when is Victor going to come? Victor here now.
You were looking for Victor here now.
Victor here. He's arrived. He's 7'6". He's scary as shit. I don't know what the NBA is going to do. This kid is out of his mind. So this is why. Why? They need to make a trade for a freak.
Oh, it's just a freak.
Yeah, what a freak. We should have such a freak.
As soon as possible. And I think some of y'all are going to say, oh my God, you're being whatever. This is clickbait. It's not clickbait. I'm deadly serious about what I'm saying. The San Antonio Spurs need to trade for Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek freak, and I have reasons that are valid. And the main one, and this is one y'all need to know, is that you have to treat bigs different than you treat guards when it comes to their window. My argument for this, even though it could be costly and it would give up some of your young talent, is you go get Giannis before it's too late. The clock is already ticking. I understand. Spurs are 4-0. Hot start. I'm still saying go get Giannis. Victor just said the blood clot helped me appreciate and not take basketball for granted. I am asking the San Antonio Spurs, do not take Victor for granted, because big men like him don't get 15-year windows. A lot of times with these guys, you get 5 to 8 with your lucky, and Victor's already missed almost an entire season with a blood clot. The time is now. You can't treat bigs like you treat guards. Do not fall in love with a potential future. Go get Giannis and go win now. I mean, the graveyard, the absolute graveyard of big men, historically, that are his height and above, this is long documented. Go look it up. I have seen this movie play out over and over again. Yao Ming was a 7'6" global icon. He had to retire at 30 years old because of foot fractures, nerve damage. He missed 250 games. Bill Walton was only 6'11", but he was kind of one of the first ones to like, oh, this guy moves like a guard. He's a champion. He's going to be really great. Well, he only played 468 of a possible 1,148 games because he had stress fractures in his foot. Ralph Sampson, who's probably the closest to Victor, was a 3-time All-Star, 7'4" athletic freak. Y'all do not understand how Akeem and Ralph could have really changed the game, but unfortunately, Ralph had back injuries, then he had knee injuries, and he became a cautionary tale in like 3 or 4 years, was never the same. Sam Bowie, most people know, oh, they drafted him over Jordan. They did it for a good reason. Sam Bowie, before he got hurt over and over and over, was a big old freak talented player, but he broke his damn leg so many times they had to put a metal plate in his shin.
I'm thinking of getting metal legs. It's a risky operation, but it'll be worth it.
Every one of them started like Wemby. Dominant, they're graceful, they can't miss, they're so tall, they're changing the game, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, they all got hurt. Victor Wembanyama, I am not saying is going to get hurt. I don't want to see him get hurt, but I am warning you, when you have a healthy 7'5" alien who is clearly in a win now mode, you double down while you can.
Double down. What?
Also including the fact that the Greek freak is on the same level of, oh my God, this dude is at his peak powers. Giannis Antetokounmpo is still that dude. Giannis is still that dude. He is the one player on Earth, too, who fits the kind of urgency and the timeline that you're looking for and the possible availability, but Milwaukee doing well is kind of hampering this. I mean, Giannis is absolutely on fire to start the season off. He's averaging 36.3, 14 rebounds, 7 assists, 70% from the field, and 57% from threes. I'm going to give you that one more again. Giannis is shooting 57% from threes as he's averaging 36 points, 14 rebounds, and 7 assists. He's the first player ever. He also made history, 60 points, 30 rebounds, 10 assists in his first 2 games. And Milwaukee's off to a great start, but they're one little Giannis sprained ankle or one problem away from going back to the middle of the East where they belong, even though the East does suck this year.
Oh, no! We suck again!
And, you know, he just did his game against the Knicks. A lot of people are saying, move Giannis to New York, move Giannis to New York. I'm begging San Antonio, you are the ones that need to make this move. The reasons why it should be the Spurs and not the Knicks, although a lot of people would love to see Giannis in a big market like New York, is kind of a combination. It's assets and expectations. When you compare what they could both give them, I don't think New York has the pieces. Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, and Josh Hart with some first-round picks is a lot of mid-level veterans who don't change their outcome and some first-round picks. That's okay. That's not Giannis level. San Antonio would have to make some risk, but, dude, they got young talent up their butt. Castle, Sohan, Vassell, Keldon Johnson. I would personally put a package together that would say Castle, Johnson, Barnes to make the money work, and the plethora of first-round picks that they still have left. Should and could be more than enough if Milwaukee finally yields to what we all think is a truth that Giannis wants to leave, is enough of a package. I do think Castle, Johnson, Barnes, and 3-4 first-round picks, maybe a second or two, is enough to pry Giannis away to San Antonio. I was going to throw in De'Aaron Fox because he's been hurt, and Spurs have not really fell in love with him yet. And with all that young talent, I know you want to keep the younger guys. Problem is, Fox just signed his extension, so he has to stay. I looked this up. De'Aaron Fox is not actually available. He would have been perfect in a trade scenario. Keep all your young guards. Go get Giannis and Wemby. But he has to stay, and I don't think that's a bad thing. Y'all are going to learn eventually in Spurs land about De'Aaron Fox. That is a bad, bad boy. He used to scare the shit out of me when he was over in Sacramento and he would play Golden State. But he did sign the max extension in August 2025, so he can't be tradable until next year after the deadline. So do that package I talked about, and I still think the risk is worth the reward. And I will admit it's a risk. I'll hear you on that. It's risky to give up your future. But if you bring him in now, Giannis is locked in for 2 more years contract-wise. So is Victor. That's a 2-year win-now window. Yes, after that, if you wanted to extend them, you'd have to live in the luxury tax, something the Spurs don't like to do. But I think you could work around it because you have Dylan Harper for 4 years on a cheap rookie contract. You have Castle, your other big player, on $10 million a year under a 3-year rookie deal. I think you could actually spend the money and stay out of the tax, but even if you had to, this is kind of like the Shohei thing. Like, y'all aren't hearing me. This would be Giannis Antetokounmpo in his prime and Victor Wembanyama and the same damn team at the same damn time. The alien freak era would just screw up everything. If you combine their points right now, let's say they just continue to do what they were doing, that means those two alone would have a combined 67 points, 28 rebounds, 10 assists, and 6 blocks per game. So they would basically, just between the two of them, combine for about 90 points when you combine points and assists. Oh, and also 6 blocks per game just on the defensive side. Plus, they give you 90 points. It would be insane. You couldn't score on them. You couldn't go inside. There would be no layups. I mean, the alien and the freak would be a defensive empire, an instant contender, global phenomenon. You got Greece and France and everyone else. You got tie-ins there as well. I feel like being like John Cena. The time is now. This is not something you want to wait around for. This is not something you want to be patient with Victor. Do not wait on tomorrow. I do love the young Spurs core. I do believe that they're promising. But just FYI, the average NBA championship team, their average age is 28 years old. You're young, you're inexperienced, and yes, you're off to a 4-0 start. You have 78 more games to go before you start getting like Gollum with your precious little prospects here. Wemby is just too rare. He is too rare to gamble on time. He is not SGA. He's a 7'6", long-armed, big foot, had a blood clot, and could follow in the footsteps of, whether y'all want to hear me say it or not, the Mings, the Waltons, the Ralph Sampsons. You really can't wait to build a winner around him like you could with an SGA, a guard, or a wing. History's telling you this is how the story goes. I say go trade for Giannis. You have the picks, you have the ability, you have the assets, you have the necessity. Go get it done, and the alien and the freak would be holy shit. I don't know what the NBA would do. I already don't know what to do with Victor right now. You add a prime Giannis, it's a wrap. It's a wrap for at least a few years, and you get to have one of the most dominant runs, arguably, in sports history. I think you should do it, and they should do it now.
Just do it!
Another golden opportunity. I want to talk about Golden State and my Warriors, 4-1. Shout out to Golden State. Currently in my actual top 5 power rankings, when I look at the top 5 teams currently in the NBA as of today. Of course, you got to put OKC at 1. I'll put Philly at 2. Edgecombe, we'll see. It's a long way to go. Him and Maxey with a hurt Embiid, but they are currently undefeated. I need to put somebody in the East in that category. I got the Spurs at 3, Milwaukee at 5, and climbing. But Golden State, I have at 4. Big win last night versus the Clippers. And I love the Warriors, and I root for them all the time because of how they win and what they do to win. The reasons the Golden State Warriors win year after year after year, and it's being shown once again, they win because of Steph. They win because of strength in numbers, and they win because of chemistry. And my best example this year is Jimmy Butler and Buddy Hield, this budding bromance, and they've needed a nickname. I have one, and it might ruffle some feathers, but let's see if you guys can handle it.
Don't get upset.
So Jimmy Butler and Buddy Hield have become really kind of the NBA's most unlikely bromance here. I mean, you think of Jimmy, defense, grit, kind of quiet, that doesn't really seem like a very likable guy. Meanwhile, you got Buddy Hield, who's Caribbean cool guy, smile, style, 3 points, doesn't play much defense, but somehow they become a version of like the Warriors buddy cop movie and have turned into like a brom-com. If you've seen the videos, absolutely hilarious since Buddy's gotten traded there. They love to roast each other, they love to talk shit, but behind closed doors and in certain interviews they'll admit like, actually, yeah, we're really good friends and we really like each other. They just had a bobblehead night just a week ago. They included Jimmy and Buddy in the same bobblehead for bobblehead night, and of course they had their smart things to say about it, but actually they were pretty happy about it. I think a lot of us are really starting to enjoy this budding relationship here. So point being, the fans have tried to nickname it, and all the nicknames so far are crap. The first one I've heard is Buttered. Buttered is apparently the fake name Jimmy uses to annoy Buddy, and that sounds more like a back pain medication than it does a nickname. They tried Batman and Robin. That doesn't work because Jimmy just last year said, I am Robin to Steph's Batman, so you can't use that one. The comedic duo, that's not even a nickname. That's just like a Netflix category. That doesn't count. Jimmy and Buddy is that's the laziest damn nickname. It's just their first names. That's the peanut butter and jelly. We're going to call it lunch. Like, what are you doing here? But I have a nickname.
Does anybody have ideas?
One, but you are going to like it.
Wait, did you say are or aren't?
Are.
And I don't know if y'all are ready for it, but I got it, and I want you to hear me out. For my new favorite romantic couple, Jimmy Butler and Buddy Hield, the new nickname should be the Butt Buddies. The Butt Buddies.
Before you say anything, hear me out.
It fits their names. It makes sense if you really think about it, because it always looks like they don't get along, but they're actually good friends. They seem to always hate each other in interviews, but they seem to be actually on the same joke and actually like each other. They have completely contradicting personalities, but they've meshed almost immediately. They play two completely different styles, but somehow it works together on the court. This is more about celebrating the chaos of connection and how they push each other. I don't like Batman and Robin. I don't like comedic duo. I think I've got the nickname for them, and it's the Butt Buddies.
I'm still not sure.
Jimmy Butler, Buddy Hield are the Butt Buddies. It looks like they can't stand each other, but they're actually best friends. And if this nickname makes you uncomfortable or upset, well, then you don't really get what I'm talking about. And besides, it's 2025, and I want to live in a world where they shouldn't feel ashamed for celebrating their bromance, for celebrating their friendship. I want to believe that we can all accept the fact, and you should accept it as well. They should not have to hide their unlikely companionship. It should be celebrated. Let the Butt Buddies cook. I think I nailed it. I think I nailed the nickname. I will get the T-shirts made as soon as possible. The other reason I love this combination, and it speaks more to, let me get a little more serious and talk about how it's important, not just Buddy, but just the overall mood, because it is making the Warriors championship contenders, because Jimmy Butler is the main key in a way that is hard to explain, and the key to Jimmy is keeping him happy and keeping him in a good mood. That's why, I tease a little bit, but I love the camaraderie. I love the chemistry. That is the most important thing if you want Jimmy Butler to actually be a helper on your team, is to keep his ass happy. The record now with Jimmy Butler and this whole last couple years after the trade deadline and everything else is 26-6 with Jimmy and Steph. The 32 games that Jimmy and Steph have played together, they are 26-6. That is an 81% win rate, and if that 81% win rate kept up for 82 games, your record would be 71-11-1. if they played a full 82. This is a happy Jimmy, and the happy Jimmy theory is very easy to understand. But you keep Jimmy happy, you win basketball games. When he's miserable, he's cussing out teammates, calling them soft. When he's having fun, he's taking the Heat to the finals, and now he's making the Warriors contenders. That's exactly what's happening. They are 4-1. Jimmy is quietly cooking, 21.4 points, almost 5 assists, 54% shooting from the field, and 57% from threes. I don't know how everyone suddenly found a three-point shot in the offseason, but suddenly Jimmy buckets looks like Jimmy's splash brother, almost 60% from threes. And the other big thing, I got to shout out Steve Kerr. I never thought I'd say it. You finally understand and maybe listen to your significant other. Size matters.
Boom, size does matter.
Size does matter.
He finally went big. I cannot believe Steve Kerr has finally pulled his head out of his ass. After a decade of bitching about it, he has been playing big men consistently. Al Horford, Quentin Post, even TJD. On average, there's a center in the lineup now, at least 23 minutes per game, which doesn't seem like a lot, but dude, when you're starving, a cracker is delicious, and when you haven't seen a center in goddamn, I don't even know how long, seeing any of them play for more than 20 minutes a game is an absolute godsend. It's helped them out a ton. Able to move Draymond back to where he belongs. Defense looks real. We're no longer asking Steph to play hero ball every single night, along with Jimmy Butler helping him out. He doesn't have to switch off and have to guard 6'10" damn wings because we have 4 guards and 1 Draymond at center. They're guarding, they're rebounding, they're providing some resistance down low. Somehow Kerr has figured it out. Jimmy is thriving due to the chemistry, and Jimmy is the perfect Robin to the Batman. Jimmy Butler has become the perfect Robin to Steph's Batman, and I love how much he's accepted it because it's a good place to be. I've said this once. I'll say it again. I'll say it a third time. Dude, second place or second in command is the spot. All the money, most of the fame, none of the pressure. It is not as fun to be Steph Curry as it is currently Jimmy Butler, and he has not just become the Robin. I'll argue Jimmy Butler has really kind of become the Scottie Pippen. If you think about Steph to Jordan and Butler to Pippen, my comparison makes a lot of sense. He has understood, dude, here I don't need to be the alpha. I just need to be the glue. That two-way guy, that elite two-way player who can play great defense, get to the free throw line. Jimmy still gets there 7 times per game, allow Steph to breathe, slow the game down. Suddenly now the offense is smoother when he's in. The spacing is better when he's in. The pace feels more controlled the same way Pippen could really run that triangle offense. He is Golden State's Scottie Pippen. If they continue this run, I think that's a fair comparison. He is a calm, two-way, mid-range surgeon who makes life easier for the superstar next to him and understands that that's his role and is happy to be in that role. Scottie wasn't happy towards the end, but for a while there when it worked great, Scottie understood, like, dude, that's MJ. I'm second in command. Second in command's a pretty sweet spot. Let's get it on. That's where Jimmy is. He has hit a real nice spot, and not just in his game, but again, in his mood, in his relationship with Buddy Hield. They're smiling, the whole team, the chemistry, the thing that makes the Warriors great. I see it. The vibes, as they call it, are immaculate, and I'm just ready to see what they can do with the rest of the season. Hopefully they can stay healthy. But Jimmy isn't just bringing buckets. He's bringing balance. He's bringing defense. He's bringing poise. He's laughing and smiling. I think they are not a dark horse. I think the Warriors can contend, especially considering that Steve Kerr is now actually playing centers. I think they can actually get it done. So shout out to Jimmy. Shout out to Buddy. Shout out to the Warriors. Shout out to the Butt Buddies. I think you guys got a real shot. Last thing.
I have one more thing to say.
Last thing, and I'm calling it a day. I waited a week, had things I had to do. But I waited a week, and people were asking me about this, and I am glad I waited. Because if you want to bet,
you want to bet
on something, I will bet you that people overreact and the media exaggerates.
No wonder traditional media is dead.
For money. For some reason, y'all bought this thing hook, line, and sinker. That, oh man, this was crazy. This scandal.
I need a bigger scandal. Why don't scandals work anymore?
And I'll give you, it sounded good at first. This whole scandal that was supposed to rock the world to its core. It's just not that big a deal. I know. Chauncey Billups got arrested. Terry Rozier got arrested. There's poker rings. There's the mafia.
God damn mafia.
They're faking injuries in order to win prop bets. It's the crazy. It's rocking the sports world. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. And I got to be honest with you, I heard it, and the more they explained it, the more I can tell you I truly don't give a shit, and you shouldn't either. This is just truly not that big a deal.
But it's not a big deal at all, like at all.
Until some bigger poker chips fall. And if that happens, I will come back to the story. But so many people are like, oh my God, Bernie, you freaking out? Are you okay? I'm like, dude, this is nothing. This is truly not a big deal. Until we start talking stars, talking championships, or actual outcomes of games anybody gives a shit about, this is much ado about nothing. Let's go back after all the nonsense and the headlines and the media trying to hype this up, and let's look at what actually happened in this huge NBA scandal that was supposed to rock the sports world to its core. First thing is 90% of this is involving Chauncey Billups and poker games, which, okay. Like, he shouldn't have done what he did. I'm not saying allegedly, even though the FBI has like a 95% conviction rate, I still have to say allegedly that you shouldn't fix poker games like Chauncey Billups did with the Mafia and have games that were manipulated using cheating, and they used all sorts of ways to pull it off to scam people out of their money in a poker game. I don't think it's cool. It literally has no ties to an NBA game, other than Chauncey Billups as a coach, but this is about poker games and Mafia and that being manipulated somewhere way over there. That makes a good Netflix movie. You could have Ben Affleck, you can the mob guy, we can call it the Full House of Lies. That could be a good title for that, but it's not an NBA scandal. It's a side hustle about cards. I don't care.
I literally don't care at all.
The second thing, let's look into the second accusation. Terry Rozier fixed his under in the Who Gives a Shit Bowl. I mean, that's honestly what happened. Terry Rozier, not Michael Jordan, not Steph Curry. Terry Rozier allegedly faked a foot injury to cash an under bet at a Hornets game that nobody watched. He participated in a player prop betting scheme, according to the reports, when he was playing for the Charlotte Hornets from 2022 to 2023, where he was accused of faking a foot injury to ensure the under bet in his game versus the Jazz. Once again, I don't care. He's not shaving points in an NBA Finals. He's taking a prop bet in March with the Hornets versus the Jazz. This is not exactly rigging the league. It's an underbet for Terry Rozier. I got bad news for Terry Rozier, and everybody else wants to make a big deal out of this. Terry Rozier couldn't control the outcome of a game if he wanted to. Like, flip it. Let's say Terry had to win the game or somebody was going to shoot him as soon as he walked off the court. I don't think he's good enough one way or another to affect the game to that level of outcome. Even if he did decide to sit and take the under, I don't think that's really that big a deal. And also worth noting, the league and Vegas found out about it immediately, and he had to sit out the rest of the season with an injury. Wink, wink. I think we all know what happened there. So they caught it immediately and investigated it. Now, they didn't find anything, but I think they were waiting for the FBI to come through. And so that's, again, Terry Rozier faked the game versus the Jazz. I don't care for the under bet. Didn't even control the outcome. He couldn't control the outcome if he wanted to. And the last thing, this was the other big part of the report, is that people apparently were leaking injury information an hour earlier than most of us got to know as gamblers. That before the public report came out, people like Damon Jones and other assistant coaches were gossiping and telling Vegas and selling them information about, hey, LeBron's going to be out, AD's going to be out, Damian Lillard's going to be out, yada, 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 which is, I guess, it's non-public injury information. They did pay for it, allegedly, the Mafia did, and it did lead into, I'm sure, some wagers and things going certain ways. But I got bad news for you bettors if you think this is new. Vegas will always know before you.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
Follow the bouncing ball. Vegas will always know more than you. They have been made $1 billion. All those lights are there for a reason. They have people that study this stuff. They have patterns. They have billion-dollar data models and algorithms and stuff. Play DraftKings a few years ago. If you remember people with algorithms, how they figure shit out. Dude, they have every connection that you don't have. You've got a FanDuel app and some vibes. You'll never win. The house always wins. This is not a big deal.
The house always wins.
Yes. And by the way, it didn't even always work. I think that's hilarious too. About reporting the injury stuff, it actually backfired. There's part in the FBI document. You can read this. Gamblers were all pissed off. They wanted their money back because one of the games, it was the Lakers versus the Thunder, and they had sold the information that AD and LeBron were either going to sit or at least only play a limited amount of minutes. Turns out they decided, F it, I want to play the whole game. They didn't just upset the under, they won the damn game, and gamblers called and they're like, dude, you sold me bullshit information, I want my money back. But the point being, even the information being sold, if you wanted to make a big deal out of it, didn't seem to work all the time. So, to review, I've got inside information for gamblers when Vegas already knows things, a who gives a crap player and a who gives a crap team manipulating the under, and what, Chauncey Billups playing poker? I don't care. Look, there's been real scandals. I will admit, there has been real scandals in the NBA and in sports, and those were worth talking about, and those were big deals. When Tim Donaghy was caught, or at least admitted to fixing games in his tell-all book and everything, again, allegedly, they never actually able to prove it, that's a big deal. Referees in the NBA can definitely fix games. They can definitely change outcomes. That is worth investigating. That is worth freaking out about. That is saying something that could rock the sports world. That is absolutely true. Violates all of our trust, integrity of the game, the whole thing. Shoeless Joe Jackson. There's a reason they've made 97 movies about Shoeless Joe Jackson. That was a holy shit scandal. That was involving the mafia in a big deal. They took their best player, along with a few others from the White Sox, in the biggest games in the entire year, in the biggest sport at the time, and they got them to point shave. It was a big old scandal. Shoeless Joe to this day is still not allowed in the Hall of Fame. Whether he should, I think he should be, along with Pete Rose. It's time to go ahead and let them in posthumously, but that's a whole nother discussion for a whole nother day. Point being, that's a holy shit scandal. Shoeless Joe Jackson's holy shit. The Tim Donaghy scandal, holy shit. Chauncey Billups telling Johnny No-Nos that Damian Lillard's going to sit. I'm sorry, is that supposed to be a good deal? That's a Tuesday. Like that's not something I'm going to pee my pants over until a Finals MVP, a ref, or a major playoff game gets proven dirty. This isn't the apocalypse. This was just clickbait. And I don't mean to be a dick, but look, losers need excuses. And I think the people keeping this story the most alive and pushed it the most were people who lost bets and a desperate media who loves a conspiracy because it gets them views and clicks. They wanted this to be a big deal so bad, and I know we all love an excuse for when we screw up and lose money. The game is rigged, the refs are in on it, it's because someone faked an injury and I lost my parlay, or maybe you just suck at gambling. I'll give you 2 quotes to live by. An ignorant person blames others for his misfortune, or if that's too deep for you, I'll give you a more modern one. Everything's a conspiracy when you don't know how anything works. It was kind of interesting. It was a cool story, but when people tried to make it a bigger deal than it was a mountain out of a molehill. The FBI is going to do their thing. They're going to go ahead and probably convict these guys again. They have the highest conviction rate of all time. It's something in the mid-90s. The NBA will tighten the injury reporting. That'll be the big fallout from this. The NBA is going to have to work on their injury reports to make sure everybody gets that information at the same time. But we'll move on, and that'll be it. This wasn't an earthquake. It was a tremor, and nobody's burning down the NBA over Terry Rozier and his fake limp. All right, I got to go. Next week, we will talk Kansas City Chiefs. I think are going to make a push. We'll see how they do against Buffalo Bills. WNBA will officially be in their lockout. I will talk about that and, of course, see what Shohei and Victor and the rest of them have done. Do not forget to like and subscribe. I will talk to you soon. Love you. Bye.
Tricky Guy Sports.
And smash that subscribe button.